to? It's recording now. Okay, I think it is.
Yeah, it says live right now. It
Okay.
changed from offline.
Oh, okay, good. Can you guys see anywhere that it says like record on your screens, or is it just me since I'm the host?
I think it's just you or you're the host.
Okay. I'm nervous that it's like not going to. We're gonna talk for an hour or something, and it's not gonna. But let's just hope that that doesn't happen. All right. So, hi guys. What should we begin with?
What exactly are we supposed to do? Does anyone know? I know we have the topic of punishment, and at some point we're supposed to talk about an ethical scenario, I think.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're basically like teaching everybody about punishment and then talking about the ethics.
I'm sorry to cut you off for 1 second. Are you guys having trouble with like cutting off, or are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm kind of switching back between the two of you with like the little squares on the bottom.
I'm good too. I think our screen changes based on who's talking.
Oh, it just does that automatically. Okay, so I don't.
Like when you talk, your picture comes up. When he talks, his picture, Yasmin's picture, comes up.
Okay. That's
And
not.
This is awkward.
Did I say your name right? I don't.
It's a lot of people in this program think I'm a girl. It's Yasmin. I'm from Bosnia.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm saying it right.
It's good to clear up the confusion. I'm glad there's another guy in the class.
So do you guys have experience with punishment at all?
You want me to start off?
Sure.
Okay, here's my deal. I joined Ball State. I was at actually like a university in class, and we use I took this class already, but we use a different book, It's called Behavioral Principles by Malat. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
No.
You have? Okay, well, I learned a lot about punishment in the book through that book, but I have not had any experience like in the clinical, the real world,
Okay.
So I haven't done any punishment like that, so I don't know about you guys.
Okay.
From a practical application, I haven't used punishment. As far as I'm aware, as far as like the way we learn about it in this course, I did a practicum at an ABA clinic last year, where we used a lot of positive and negative reinforcement, but we stayed away from punishment practices because they're aversive. So I've read about it, but I don't know, I've never actually used it.
Right. I have used punishment a little bit. I used to work at a school. I was an aide there, and we had something called a CO chair for one of our learners who was pretty aggressive. So when he would engage in aggressive behaviors, he would have to go into the CO chair. It was kind of like a timeout, but
Okay.
he would have to watch the other kids like have a party basically, like without him.
That's
So yeah, that's pretty much the only punishment procedure I have used. But
and I guess I've seen that used in schools too. I've worked in schools as a clinical psychologist, and I do psychoeducational evaluations and consultations in schools. So I guess I've seen that happen, but I've never actually been in charge of doing that.
implemented it, yeah. Okay.
So what are we basically going to cover in this first hangout?
Well, I guess the first hangout is really to just and sorry that I just jumped right in, but I think it's really to smooth out the technical stuff here and maybe assign parts to all of us that we can all cover. Right? Does that sound like what you guys thought it was?
That was kind of my understanding, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we can. I guess we can talk more throughout this conversation. We can, like you said, assign parts to each of us and work on that. That's going to be the best as long as we have a plan,
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's kind of long, an hour, so I don't know if we're going to talk about it for a whole hour.
I know it does seem really long, and I remember that she said like try not to talk too much about what we're going to be presenting on, because then it won't be like,
Yeah.
and the final one won't be as interesting, I guess. But which kind of does make sense. I mean, if we talk about it all
So
night.
let me ask you guys a question. I mean, this is relating, of course, to the topic. I used the Cooper book, which I learned a lot from that. And one of my professors that I had in my prior university, he said the BCBA exam is like basically like the whole test is based on that book. So
Yeah, that's like
That's my understanding as well.
I've heard of
so
it.
what's the point? Let me ask you a question. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but what's the point of other books if that's the
That's like the ABA Bible, they call it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a really great book.
so I know you touched upon using punishment in your classes. What about you, Nicholas? You said you haven't done anything.
I've I've seen it used in classrooms with teachers and with aides and things like that. I've never actually been in charge of giving it. The only other experience I do have with punishment is I worked. I'm actually in Indiana at Ball State. I'm not from Indiana. I'm in the school psych program, and ABA is my cognate. So my chair is Dr. Susan Wilczynski. I've done a lot of research with her in ABA. And I recently helped her with writing an article for publication on functional communication training. And in that, some of the articles that I had to research included punishment as a treatment manipulation. Outside of that, my experience is limited. So I have a handful of articles that talk about using punishment as far as treatment and when it was used with what function of behavior, what the targeted behavior was. But no like hands-on practical experience.
This is interesting. This will be fun and informative for us and I guess the rest of the class to teach.
So, for example, I know like punishment includes a lot of things. It's not just one, obviously. But so how would we split that up? Like who would cover positive punishment? Who would do negative punishment? Should we?
Well, I think also like yeah, there are two aspects of punishment, but then there's also the ethical part of it too. So
Yeah, that's going to be a key.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know how we could break that up because I guess the ethical part would probably be like the biggest part of the presentations.
Yeah.
It would. I feel like for us, that's the easiest. Like, I feel like our topic's the easiest as far as coming up with an ethical situation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, off the top of my head, like, don't beat your kids. Like, that would be a form of punishment that would present an ethical problem for us. So I think for us, it's going to be, I think the hard part of it is going to be moving past the obvious. Because we have to present for an hour on punishment, and it doesn't take very long to say you shouldn't beat your kids. Like,
right.
So yeah, I think that's just going to be tricky.
Yeah. Also, about the last group that presented. I thought it was pretty interesting how, like, I mean, I think that we should maybe do this too. And they kept like they would go to like another website and put it up on the screen and talk with it there. Do you guys like know how to do that? Because I don't.
I have no idea. I've never used Google before.
This is the first time for me too.
Me too.
But
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, is there a way?
Oh, there is. I just moved my mouse to the left side of my viewing screen, and there's a green window with an arrow in it, and it says screen share. I'm assuming if you click that, you would see what was on my screen.
Okay.
Here, let me try. So, I guess I don't know. What do you see anything?
No, I just still see you.
What about now?
Yeah, now I see, I guess, whatever is on.
Like an Excel file?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like if we want to do that, we hit the screen share button, and then a box pops up that gives us all the things that are active on our screen right now, and we can pick which one we want.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, because that was, I mean, it was nice to see something else.
So when we create these, when we do these parts, should we break down like scenarios and give like examples and stuff, like a
Yeah.
punishment?
I think so. I think having examples is useful.
Yeah, maybe we should give like a couple of examples for each one. Um, I guess we'll also have to talk about getting informed consent from caregivers and or parents or whoever.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. Do you guys do anything with Assent?
With what? I'm sorry.
Assent, ASSENT.
No, I've
You know
actually
what I mean when I'm
heard of it.
talking about that?
No, I've never heard of it before, actually.
It's something that we talk about in the school psychology department, is that you get consent from somebody that's of legal age to do the practices that you want to engage in.
Mm-hmm.
But assent is actually getting like the student, the child you're working with, to do what you want.
Okay.
I don't know if that's something that we just want to throw in there. It's not going to add a lot to the presentation, but it's one of those things where if you can't get the child you're working with to do anything that you're doing, then you don't have their assent. And that's just something that we talk about as being key, but it's looked at differently from a behaviorist perspective in the ABA program. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of it before, but if you want to talk about that a little bit, since your background is more psychology, then that would be interesting, I think.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how are we going to present for an hour. I'm used to like 20-minute presentations, and that's it.
Well,
See, like, have you guys ever done the Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Somebody talking.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if you guys ever had experience doing like the sniffy rat, the project, like we do different like experiments with the rat. You ever guys done that?
No, I've never done anything like that.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, that's a good way. It shows, I was going to say, this shows a lot of good examples of punishment, negative punishment, positive punishment.
Okay.
That works.
So, let's see. Should we...
There's a lot of stuff in this book that I have, like this book, Behaviors of Principle. It's like one of the best. It's after the Cooper. This helped me a lot. It's by Richard Malott.
What is it called? Principles of Behavior?
It's called Principles of Behavior, the 7th edition.
Okay.
It breaks down like punishment, like into examples and stuff. So it's really helpful. It's a good guide.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff in that I could, pull out. So.
Okay. Yeah, I went through like all of our books and marked off like the sections that talk about punishment. And
yeah, and that's why I was getting confused. That's why I wanted to clarify that with you guys. I didn't want to I didn't know if you wanted us to talk on the first hangout or about stuff. So I guess we're just gonna have a plan this time.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. I had a few articles on punishment, but kind of like you had mentioned, every time I do anything, I always end up back at the Cooper book. It's the best book I have. And so it's like I'm not going to waste my time with like the Alberto and Troutman book that we did in like 609 when everything is just better from Cooper.
Yeah, absolutely.
But some of the professors, they're kind of tricky about that. Like you might pull something out of the Cooper book and accidentally put it in your paper or something, then they kind of get mad about that,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that they don't like it if you only use one source, but it's tough when they give you what's considered the source by ABA standards.
Yeah.
That's why, and this is actually a good thing that she's doing these hangouts and stuff. I think not having the online courses and stuff makes it a little bit more difficult because you're not really directly sharing with other people, like versus it being in a class. Mm-hmm. So just talking to you guys about this is going to be really helpful, at least for me,
Yeah, absolutely. I've never taken online courses before, so it's like a totally new experience for me.
Yeah, it's a big difference being in class and doing online.
So what do you? I don't know. What should we talk about now?
I don't know how other groups stretched it for an hour, and I saw the first group. Not everything really went an hour.
No, I think it was more. It was like around like 35 minutes. Their final
The
one, right?
final one was, yeah.
I didn't watch the other two. Were they an hour long?
I pulled them up. I think they were between like 45 and 55. I didn't watch them either because we only needed to watch the last one for the
Yeah.
forum. So
Yeah.
So I know you talked a little bit about the working at like in the clinical, the actual like the field. What about Emily? Have you done any like practice or something like that?
Yeah. Actually, I'm an ABA therapist now. I work. I'm a home-based therapist, so I go
Oh,
to the clients' homes and work with them there. Mostly 5 years and younger. But I have a little bit of experience working with some like preteens.
let me ask you another question. Do you have to like this is the toughest thing for me, like operational definitions, do you have to write those?
Um, Personally, I don't, but
I was gonna say those are so hard for at least for me.
yeah, it's definitely
Because
hard.
when I'm writing them, I try to get so specific that I get lost. Like,
Yeah, I know it's hard to not be ambiguous too when you're writing them.
yeah.
Yeah.
and you said that you're doing that work in New York, right?
Yes, I work in New York and New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
Do you?
My wife is from New York, and she graduated from this program, and we both know that New York just passed a bunch of laws that are going to take place as far as who can call themselves a behavior analyst, and
Yeah,
who
now
can
I think
bill
you have
under
to
those.
be certified, like on the BACB, right? It's like a behavior ERT. That's I think, right? That's what you have to.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What part of Jersey do you live in?
I actually live in New York. I live in Rockland County.
Okay, I did my first semester of grad school there at Caldwell College.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Did you live there?
Yeah, I lived there for 6 months. I had family there, but I transferred back to Louisville. I reside in Louisville, Kentucky right now.
Okay. Oh, no. So we're all over
Yo, yeah, I've been throughout the whole world.
the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Uh,
go ahead.
so something I just thought of and I hadn't thought of it before is I know it's really important to consider like cultural factors
Hmm.
when working with our clients and trying to think of how we'll make this an hour long, and if we have to cut stuff later, maybe we can. But what if we looked into different things like the cultural differences of using punishment, what somebody from the United States might consider, or a middle-class white American from the United States might consider a form of punishment, somebody from another country might not,
Right.
and what that means as far as like, I know social validity and treatment acceptability is big in the field right now. So I don't know if that's an area we might want to investigate.
Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely.
I would definitely look into like diversity.
Yeah.
Um, Sorry, I'm just taking some notes like as we go along here.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. I'm going between like 4 different screens on my computer to figure out what we can do.
Um, okay. I guess oops, my pen just broke. We could also talk about like when to use punishment versus other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
What is? I'm just looking into this. I don't know if you guys have experience. What is recovery from punishment?
what is recovery?
From punishment.
I wish I could answer that question. I've heard it used before and I've read about it in the literature, but I don't know of a good explanation of it.
I don't know either. Okay. Are you reading
It
that?
says this is the definition I have for it. It says permanent response suppression may occur when a complete suppression of behavior to a zero rate of responding has been achieved with intense punishment.
So then,
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
I I guess like then the use of the punishment procedure has decreased the behavior. Possibly,
Yeah.
that's what I got from that.
I'm trying to think like how we're gonna stretch this for an hour because I think we should split the parts of different punishment and then like he said, bring in some other ideas into it to stretch it out to at least 35, 40 minutes. You know, if that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think that it would be allowed for us to like show a video or like, like an example, like on, I don't know if we found one somewhere. Obviously, we would be
Once you
talking
ask her.
time, but if like there's like a 30-second clip or something that we could show that might help give it more examples or.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, if I was giving this presentation on campus, I would think about doing the same thing, kind of like give a discussion of what we're talking about, show a video, and then after the video, discuss like what it was and what we saw,
Right.
and then we can even determine like whether it was actually punishment or not punishment. Or so I would say so. I don't see why not.
Yeah, or we could get some videos and we could do that and talk about like if it was ethical or like were there things about it that were unethical. I'm sure there has to be videos out there like of some really unethical stuff being done.
Well, I know, yeah, I'm sure there are, and I know YouTube is a big place where sometimes behavioral therapists will put stuff, parents will put stuff, and people always make comments like you shouldn't restrain your kids, as child abuse, like. Mm-hmm. So I think we could probably find some videos that would fit, and then we could have the what's considered like the academic discussion of is it ethical, is it not, is this punishment, is it not. So I think it's a good idea, and I think we'll have an easy time finding a video.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that sounds like a good idea then. Yeah. So do you guys just all, like, maybe after the session, do you all want to just go ahead and get information on all the different parts, or do you want to, and then, like, come back for the next one and kind of talk about that and then split it up, or do you want to just split it up now? And, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm open to whatever.
Same here.
Guys, if you want to split it up, I already have some stuff on like the cultural component. Obviously, it's not all encompassing, so more could be done. I can come up with something to talk about the ascent.
Okay.
And then I have some articles. I would have to reread them and refresh my memory, like how pertinent they or how appropriate they'd be for our discussion. But really, we can either all just kind of attack this as a broad thing and then narrow it down more specifically next time, or split it up like you said. I don't have a preference one way or the other.
Okay. I don't know, this is just like my opinion, but I think that we should all talk about the ethical parts of it and then maybe divide up the other parts, like positive punishment, somebody else does negative punishment, and maybe like, I don't know.
I mean, I can talk about positive punishment a little bit. I'll cover the ethical part.
Okay.
If that's cool with you, I don't
know. I do think that's a good idea, considering what this course is about, and the ethics is a pretty big component. If we all say something about it, at least then we can say that we've all touched base on it. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So Yasmin, you wanted to do positive punishment?
Yeah, I can cover positive, and I'll touch up on the ethical part a little bit, and then we can all be involved in ethical.
Okay. Then do you, Nicholas, you want me to do the positive or negative punishment, and then you can talk about like the is that what you said? ACEN? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, and the articles that you read. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. We don't have to do it like that, but
that works for me. I can talk about assent. I can go over some of the articles that I already have that'll help talk about punishment when it is appropriate as a form of treatment, as well as some of the cultural stuff that I already have.
Okay, great.
I can also, for positive punishment, I can look into like we were discussing. I don't know if she's gonna allow us to have like little video clips of like what's punishment and what's considered not punishment, and then we can tie in the ethical part to that too. You know?
I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Um, I'm already thinking about like when we should meet up next time. You guys, I mean, I don't know, we should probably do it like this week or
Do you guys want to meet this Saturday for the second time?
I'm not going to be able to do this Saturday coming up. My nephew's birthday party, sorry. But Sunday we could meet. Are you guys available Sunday?
I am. I can do Sunday.
I can do Sunday. That's fine.
Okay, great. Want to do like the evening, same time or earlier or
If we could do earlier on Sunday, that would be good.
okay.
Like, not meaning like 9 a.m., but just earlier than 6 o'clock.
I don't think I would be up at 9 a.m. man. Especially after a Saturday.
Yeah, all right. Maybe like 2 or something.
That works for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
That
Sorry,
could-
like my internet, like I'm having trouble with my internet connection. They're supposed to come fix it on Thursday, so you guys are cutting off every like other sentence, or every
Oh,
other word. So I'm catching like one word, and I miss like the whole.
oh no. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Are we like freezing in really funny ways, our faces?
I know. I don't know what's going on. You guys are. Whenever you talk, you're just like a little bit like freezing, and you know.
Okay.
But I just bought an iMac today. My picture is good, but the internet's slow. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned right now. Like since you both discussed your job and stuff, I'm working like through Jefferson County Public Schools, the school system here. I work as a preferred sub for ECE classes. So yeah.
What's an EC class?
My bad. It's special education.
Is it like emotional? Does it stand for something?
No, I don't know. I don't know why. They have it listed as ECE, but it's special education.
Oh, okay.
There's various like various kids like autism, Asperger's syndrome, high functioning, things like that. But I haven't written any operational definition since I'm like a preferred sub. I don't think they would want me writing operational definitions.
So do you work in that like in the same classroom every day or are you
Yeah, it's mainly there's 3 classes mainly in the same classroom.
okay.
Yeah. That's giving me a little bit of experience, but like I said, I haven't, I'm not licensed to do anything, so like I can't.
Mhm.
I worked also as a direct support person, as a community person for 3 years, and that's how I got into all of this. Like my major was communication, so going from that into a world of applied behavior analysis was.
It's a big jump.
Yeah, that is.
So when I was at Caldwell in Jersey, I basically came in there, I didn't know anything.
Are you guys both planning on getting your BCBA?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Yep. A
And
list of many things.
you what?
So it's at the bottom of my list of many things. I have this course, plus I have on-campus courses, plus I'm doing an internship through my school psych, and
Oh, you're
I'm working on my dissertation right now. So
wow, I know you seem like a very busy guy.
unfortunately, yes.
So you guys are like doing your hours and everything for the BCBA, or have you started that?
Like, you mean have I started my practicum?
Mhm.
No, I'm gonna wait to do my practicum at the end.
Okay. So you're
Like maybe like actually in the fall. Well, I should be finishing up in the fall if I pass all my classes, hopefully.
oh, okay. But does your job right now, could it count towards that?
I haven't looked into that actually. I'm just so frightened to like do my practicum or anything like that, just because like I want to learn more about like applied behavior analysis from the technical terms, and then get into the practicum.
Mhm.
I did my practicum on both of them last year, and I had only taken the behavior consultation and the intro to ABA courses. So
Mhm.
it was a little terrifying at first, but it actually helped. The confusion was a lot of the terms and a lot of the processes they used in the clinic didn't match up with how it actually was.
Oh.
They trained us that there were only 3 functions of behavior, not 4.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was really screwy. So that part was complicated, but the hands-on part helped me a lot with as I was taking other courses in the program.
Yeah,
Um,
it
right
really.
now, I get some hours through the research I'm doing with my chair, but other than that, I do testing and write reports, and that doesn't count towards those hours. So I'm not getting a ton this year.
Right. So, what
Um,
kind of hours do you, like? How do you plan on getting your hours?
No idea.
No.
Uh,
uh,
when I'm done with my internship this year, I'm going to work with my chair to try to figure out a way to do it because I don't know. My wife and I will either be moving back to upstate New York this summer, or we'll be here next year for my internship. So it'll depend on where I am, on how I can get the hours.
Right. Right. Oh, okay. I know it's the crazy road to the BCBA.
Yes.
but I think when I did my observing hours at an elementary school for autism in Jersey, I did 40 hours. It's just observing. We had to do it for the class.
Yeah.
And the lady that I spoke to, one of the ladies that I spoke to there, she said that you learn in this field the best is just being in the world and actually working.
Yeah. It's really true.
The real world. I mean, you can learn so much from the book, but if you really don't apply it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely.
Trust me, I've heard there are a lot of bad applied behavior analysts out there.
Oh yeah. I feel like I've run into so many people. I'm just like, what? Like, how did you pass this test, and why are you doing this? I don't understand.
Like, and you're absolutely right, 100%. There's so many teachers, special education teachers. When I talk to them about some of the stuff that we're learning about applied behavior analysis, they're just looking at me like, "Are you serious? Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's scary.
My favorite is I sat in a meeting recently where we have a child on my caseload that's on the spectrum, and we brought in our school district's autism expert, and her expertise is that she taught for 30 years in general ed, and then she phased into an administrative position, but because of all her experience with kids with autism in her classroom, that made her eligible for this job.
Oh God.
It was terrible. And
Yeah.
she's just sitting in the position until she retires, but a lot of what she was saying was very old school type stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, and I felt bad because I'm like, I'm just a student, so I can't speak up too much, but everything you're saying is wrong, is what I was thinking in my head.
I know. Yeah.
Like, I think like this, for me at least, the online schooling is not as hard. Like when I was in my first university, like the professor, he required us, like if he would say define positive reinforcement, he would require word for word, like exact definition. If you miss like a comma or a word, like anything, misspell it, he would count it wrong. So it's like, so online is a little bit more like,
Yeah. Hmm.
I really have no idea how we're going to extend this another 30 minutes.
I guess by talking about so many things.
Uh,
Yeah. Um,
yeah, because it says in there, like, don't discuss the topic in detail,
I know. Yeah.
but I don't know.
I mean, the main thing is like we already discussed it. We're gonna split it up into parts, and then everybody should talk about like whatever they're assigned. So I mean, I think that should cover at least 15, 20 minutes, at
Like,
least.
so next time, are we supposed to be going through and doing like a practice run or
Yeah,
something?
that's what I was just thinking. Maybe like talk about the actual stuff that each one is assigned. So
Yeah, that's my understanding.
yeah,
Um, and I think next time it'll be easier because we'll have more information. We'll know specifically the different areas we're talking about. So I think we'll be able to talk longer and interact more in our conversations.
Hmm.
And then by the end of it, just kind of have a plan in place of what the presentation is going to look like generally.
Right. I'm also, this just popped into my head, but thinking like, how is it going to flow? Like if we're just all doing separate parts and I don't know.
Well, but I mean, you would first obviously start to think out by defining punishment, talking a little bit about what it is, and then I would talk about the ethical part. Bring that in first, and then talk more about positive and negative, and then whatever he said.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we just start with a general discussion, like our group's topic is punishment, and then we each gave a brief intro of what we were going to talk about,
Yep.
and then had each person go in order, like more in detail of what they were doing. That might work.
Okay. All right. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I have the rubric pulled up on my screen, and it says they should be approximately an hour in length, but it doesn't, as far as credit for it, it just says that we're all supposed to participate in the entire Google Hangout session. It doesn't say, like, word for word, we lose points if it's not an hour.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's good that it wasn't just 10 minutes, but we've assigned different sections of the presentation to each of us. We've talked about kind of how we're going to introduce it, what are the main areas we want to hit. We've scheduled our next appointment, like the next time we're going to meet.
Mm-hmm.
We've done introductions. I don't know what else we can do to extend this without it seeming awkward and forced. Like,
Right. Actually,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. We have to give all three of these in by the 11th, which that's
a week from Wednesday, right?
right. And so we're planning only our second one on Sunday. Do you think we should do it sooner than that and maybe do the third one on Sunday? I'm just thinking, because then we're going to have to do the third one, like,
Unless,
I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seems like we're cutting it really close with the second one.
when are you guys available again this week?
To be honest, like, I could do Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, like, anytime pretty much after, like, 6 or 7. Thursday, I get out at 2:30, so Thursday is, like, one day that I could do earlier, but I don't know about you guys.
I can do Thursday. I don't get home till about 3, and then I take a nap for about 2 hours. And then I go to the gym. I'm just kidding. No, I could do probably like maybe like 7 on Thursday.
What about you?
Well,
Nick?
the issue is I could do another meeting, but
Right.
I wouldn't have time between now and then to look up my part.
Okay.
With everything else that I have going on.
Yeah.
What if,
Could we do, sorry to cut you off, could we do like 2 in one day? Like, could we do like the Sunday, that would be too crazy, actually, never mind.
but what if we kept our one for Sunday, and then did our final one on Monday? Would that work?
I'm down.
Yeah.
That way
Yeah.
it gives us, if we have to make any changes to either our individual pieces or work out the fine details through email on Sunday, it gives us a day to kind of get that in order, and then Monday we bust it out and get it done.
Yeah, okay, so the 9th, right?
The 8th is, oh, no, maybe I have the wrong day. Yes, Monday, a week from today would be the 9th.
Wait, okay, so we're going to do the second one on the 8th at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then our final one will be on the 9th at, did we decide?
Monday, I will be free next Monday, like probably possibly.
I'll be free anytime after 4.
Okay, free anytime after 5 o'clock. So maybe you want to do 6?
We can do 6,
6.
that works.
Yeah, we can do 6 on Monday.
Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
That works.
All right. I mean, I think this was a pretty good, I think that's good, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that's good.
All right, cool.
Do you, somewhere in all the different instructions for this that are posted everywhere, is somebody supposed to let her know that we had this meeting and who was in it, or does just submitting all the videos count?
Yeah, I think I have to email her, like, that we were all here and a part of it, and I don't know, do I give her this video and now, or just wait until we have them all?
I think that's it, based on what the other group did. It kind of looked like preference. It can either get sent to her or posted now, or
Because
all
I
at the end.
didn't think that we were supposed to post like all of our videos to Blackboard.
I wasn't sure because I knew we had to have them all recorded, but I didn't know if we were supposed to record all of them and just send her the first two and then post the third one.
Does anybody else care about this conversation that we're having right now?
I'm gonna assume no. Like, I didn't watch the first two because we only cared about the presentation. Like, so.
I'm not gonna say I didn't watch it because we're gonna be showing this. So.
I mean, I watched the one we were supposed to, but I didn't watch the first two where they talk
I
about.
watched all of them for like every minute of it. So.
Okay, well, I guess I'll ask her. I'll send it to her and let her know you guys attended this meeting. I'll ask her if we need to post them all or just the one.
And it's already been 40 minutes since we started the Hangout, so it kind of went by quick.
That's pretty good.
It did, and it helped. Yeah, I'm talking about what our plan was, scheduling the days and stuff. So
Yeah.
at least wasn't a 10-minute hangout.
Yeah. So do you guys also want to just, like, as you're looking for your part of it, want to also just look for some videos and we can just kind of show each other them next time, maybe?
Yeah.
And then do that. Okay, cool. All right, so we all good here?
I think so.
All right, guys. Talk to you during the week sometime, I'm sure.
Yeah, we can email each other back and forth if you guys have questions.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Good.
Oh, wait, actually, one more thing about the emails. If you guys just, like, make sure, I'm not trying to be annoying, but if we just make sure to put reply all, because, like, I know sometimes I'm leaving one person out and then the next time I'm, like, left out of it. So if we just reply to all of them, all of the people in our group, it would be more helpful.
That's a good point. I thought of that earlier, too. We were doing a lot of this person missed this person missed this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So you guys are not having any troubles when you talk? Like, there's no cutting off?
No.
Okay, it's just my connection.
Did you catch what we
It's so weird and awkward. Like, whenever you switch off and he switches off, it's like, I'm like, okay, I know it's weird.
when anyone talks, like, I have to click on your box on the bottom to see what you're saying. Is that happening for you guys, or does it just automatically come up?
You're just cutting off on mine. I guess it's my connection. It's not you guys.
Mine automatically switches over. I don't have to hit anything. Whoever's talking, that should
mine does too. Mine does that too, but it just freezes because my connection's pretty slow right now.
Okay. All right.
All right. So I guess that's it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the host.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Bye.
Bye.